Okay, welcome to another episode of Deep Shit. With me is Booze Crooze, and I'm Guilty Pleasure, and this is the Deep Shit. So you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll ask the first question. It's the question that we ask everybody, all newcomers. So if anyone who's ever watched this will probably know the question. In Peter Pan, Peter's happy thought is what makes him fly. So what would be your genuine happy thought that'll help make you fly?
My happy thought? Really, I was thinking about this the other day, in that life was so much easier back when you're 19, 20 years old, and you don't have the complications of dealing with exes, and let's say you get together with a woman and she has kids. Now you're dealing with her kid's father, and it's just so complicated. And there's a lot of times I rather just go back to, like I said, the 1920, and you just you got your little job, and you're so carefree, and there's no responsibilities really. And that's, I guess, what would make me fly.
Being 19 or 20?
And just not having the responsibilities that I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's overwhelming sometimes.
So you're telling me that you thought of yourself as being younger back in those days, that'll help make you fly?
Yeah. And then I was in a lot better shape. I didn't have this gut I got now. Just all around it was so much better, and there was still so much hope for the future, because I made a lot of mistakes in life. So that was way back before all that happened, and the future was wide open. So definitely I'd say that. Okay, the question I have is, how does it feel when you're at a store, Myers, Walmart, whatever, and here you are working just to try to make ends meet, and then you see someone in front of you with this big old grocery cart full of stuff, and it's coming up to a couple $100, and then they just pull out this bridge card, and it's like they get all this stuff for free. Does that make you upset, or does that kind of stuff not bother you that much?
It doesn't bother me all that much. Because 9 times out of 10, when someone with kids, they give them more money. So, no, it wouldn't bother me that much. I got a question for you. So, doctor tells you got 6 months to a year to live. How are you going to spend the last moments of your life?
Well, I'm definitely going to stop working, because there's no point in that. So, I just would try to make each day count. Try to go and do as many things as I could. I'm probably in pretty bad health-wise, being that I only got 6 months. But it's funny that you asked that, because right now my dad, he has brain cancer, and that's what the doctor had told him. So it's kind of hard seeing that from the other side, because there's a lot of days I see him, and I think he's given into the fact, and he's not utilizing the time right like he should. I mean, he should be out there trying to do as much as he could. So just try to live every day full out, and do as many things as I could, because I mean, you might not wake up the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I would do is, if I had any grudges or anything with people, I would definitely call them up or try to meet them, and just try to end all that, so when I did die, I was at peace with the world.
Okay. So what question you got for me?
So the question I have is, what do you think? Who do you think is better off? A single guy with no kids, or a man and a woman that has like 2 or 3 kids? So you got 2 incomes, but you've got 2 or 3 kids to support. So you got more income coming in, but you definitely have more money going out. So do you think the single guy has it easier, or the couple that has 2, 3 kids?
the single guy got it easier because he doesn't have the responsibilities as the couple who has to raise the kids, and kids can drain your money faster than anything else. So I would say the single guy got it easier. But I guess it depends on the perspective though, because like, it depends. People, I'm pretty sure a lot of couples with kids would rather be single, where single people would rather have kids. I guess some of them. But it all depends on perspective. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be the single guy. But also depends on what job he's got and how he's living financially and everything. But I'll go with the single guy.
All right.
All right. Well, my question is to you is trying to figure out how to word it. Okay. So, what would be like from here on out with your life, and you're on your deathbed? What would be like? I got two questions actually. What would be your greatest regret? And what are some of the things you wish you would have done in your life, before passing on?
I think my biggest regret is probably when I went into the Army, because before I went in the Army, I always had this instinct not to drink. Like, it was something put in me, like, don't ever drink. So when I was in the Army, that's all anyone ever did. So all of my really bad mistakes and ups in life was all due to drinking. So that would be, I guess, my biggest regret was going into the Army. And then part of that too is I lost those 4 years of being 18 to 22 while everyone else is, they're going to college, partying all the time, and I missed out on that. So I think that's why when I got out, I was trying to like go back in time and relive that. So then I got all out of whack while people were moving on, graduating college, now they're having kids, getting married. I'm trying to live the life that they did when they got out of high school, so I was always behind. And so that would probably be my biggest regret. I don't think I would have ever went into the Army because I would have still had that instinct not to drink. So I'd be in a lot better position in life than I am now, definitely.
I didn't know the Army was the one that made you drink in the first place.
Yep, because I never drank in high school. When I graduated high school, I never, people were partying and I just said, nope, it's not my thing. But that when you get in there, it's like that's all people did. So just to break it down, like you go to basic training where like you don't get to do anything, so no drinking happening there. But then you go to something called AIT, and it's kind of like your job training. So my job was driving a gas truck in filled up tanks. So I got sent to Virginia, Fort Lee, Virginia. So when you're in here, you get a lot more privileges. So we would be released on a Saturday at, like 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So what everyone did was everyone would get a cab, and there'd be like 4 or 5 people just go get a hotel room and just start drinking, and you would just be wasted by like noon. So that's how it all started. And then when I got sent to Colorado, where like my permanent place was, it was like every day after work just going out to the liquor store. They called it the Class 6. And the liquor was so cheap, you could get a 32-ounce bottle of beer for 99 cents. And you would just get like these cases of it and just be getting wasted every single day. And that's why, like I said, I came out of there and I just kept drinking, and...
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. Now, the other question, though, is that what would... Going forward, what was some of the things you would want to accomplish in your life?
Well, I'm getting there. I got 1 year left of college before I get my master's degree, so I really wanted to accomplish that. Other things, I guess that's my biggest thing.
Accomplishing school.
Yeah, and then, I'm a social worker now, so I really like that, helping people. So when I do die, at least I made some effort to make the world a better place than when I came into it.
Well, that's good. So you have any more questions for me?
I think the 3 is all I got for today.
You only got 3 questions? Well, that's been an episode of Deep Shit. So, this is Booze Crooze, and I'm Guilty Pleasure. So, until next time, hopefully we can get Damien on here, Lamian, Super Lamian, get him on here, and hopefully we'll have almost had a female on here, she's checking out. But anyway, that's Deep Shit.